welcome to day 2 of my 6th annual SLAP challenge. SLAP, S-L-A-P stands for squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. We are doing 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of an ab exercise, and 40 push-ups a day, every single day except Sundays, for 40 days, and this is day 2. So this is my 6th year in a row doing this challenge, and this year I wanted to really make sure to focus on beginners. So if you are more advanced and you would like a more challenging workout, click here to do the day 2 workout from last year's challenge. And then while you're there, go ahead and bookmark that playlist, the playlist that I made last year. And then you can still follow along with the challenge, but your workouts will be a little bit more advanced. For the most part, that means they're going to be longer, more reps, more weight. We're going to be incorporating different pieces of equipment and incorporating cardio into the workouts, but that's not what I'm doing this year. So click the link in the iCard. It will also be linked down below the video if you are more advanced and you want to do something a little bit more challenging than what we're going to be doing today. But if you are a beginner, stick with me. We are going to do a much more beginner-friendly workout today. So hopefully you watched yesterday's video. If you missed it, I will link that up here as well. So click on the link in the iCard to watch yesterday's video. If you are new to the challenge, if you have any questions about what the challenge is, how it works, where to start, if you don't know the proper form to do your squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups, if you need to see beginner modifications, we went over all of that in yesterday's video. So that is going to be linked in the iCard up here. It's also going to be linked down below. And if you have any trouble finding any of these playlists or videos that I'm talking about, please just ask, leave a comment, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'm going to be doing this entire challenge with you. I'm going to be here doing the workouts right along with you every day, and I'm always here to answer your questions as well. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or if you need help along the way. But yesterday's video was super long because I did take the time to go over all of those things in so much detail, and I don't want this video to be so long. So let's go ahead. I will demonstrate and explain the exercises briefly before we begin, and then we'll go ahead and get into the workout. So starting with our squat variation, today I am going to be doing jump squats, but remember, the beautiful thing about this challenge is that as long as you do your 40 squats today, any way you want to get them done is fine. So you can do any squat variation you want, including air squats or the beginner air squats that I showed you yesterday. All right, and you don't have to do them all at once. You can do 10 now, you can do 10 after lunch, 10 after work, and 10 before bed, okay? So you don't have to do the workouts exactly the way I'm doing them, but of course you are invited to work out along with me today. So I'm going to be doing jump squats today, but if that is too advanced for you, just remember that you can do any squat variation that does work for you, okay? So with your squats, remember, we went over this yesterday, you always want to start by visualizing trying to tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets. So that means you want your shoulders back and down, and that's going to help you keep your chest lifted nice and high. You want to tighten up your abs. We always want a nice, strong, tight, engaged core. And then before you think about squatting down, you don't want to think about your squat as going straight down, because if you do that, your knees are going to tend to end up out over your toes. That's not what we want. You want your weight to be in your heels. And so the way you accomplish that is by, instead of thinking about squatting straight down, think about trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty, okay? So roll the shoulders back and down like you're trying to tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets, tighten up your abs, and now push that booty back like you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. At the same time, imagine trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. The point is that you want a nice flat back, and you want to keep your weight in your heels. So you don't want your back to be rounded. You want a nice flat back, and you do that by keeping your chest lifted high. So if I'm trying to touch the wall behind me with my booty, trying to touch the wall in front of me with my chest, that's going to help me keep my spine nice and elongated. That's going to keep my back flat, and my weight is going to stay in my heels. You should actually be able to pick up your toes. Then from here, from this position, is where you want to go ahead and sink down into your squat. Okay, challenge yourself to squat as low as you can. Do your best to at least get your thighs parallel with the ground if you can. It's really important that you're working to your own level. So if you're not there yet, you're not there yet. Please do not push your body into doing something it is not ready to do. I don't want anyone getting hurt. That's the last thing I want. So please use your common sense, be safe, listen to your body, work to your own level. Go at your own pace, okay? Make the decisions that are best for you. So if you want to just do air squats, that's fine. That's what we did yesterday. You can do air squats every day if you want. So once you're down into your squat, you can press your heels into the ground and stand and return to your starting position. That's just a basic air squat. I'm going to be adding a jump. So I'm going to squat, and I'm going to squat low. I'm going to bring my booty down all the way below my knees. You might not be able to do that, and that's fine. If you can't do that, then just get as low as you can without pushing yourself into doing something your body isn't ready to do, okay? And then from here, I'm going to jump up, okay? So that's it. That's the entire exercise. Super simple, super basic. If you can't do the jump, then again, you can just do a regular air squat and stand. If you want, you can add a calf raise. So as you stand, you can come up onto your toes and reach up like you're trying to touch the ceiling. That is a joint-friendly modification that you can make, okay? So any squat variation you want to do will work. But if you can't jump and you want to do something more similar to what I'm doing, then you're going to squat, tap the mat if you can, and then come up onto your toes, okay? Squat, calf raise, and reach. Okay, work on that balance, work on strengthening your feet and your calves, Achilles, okay? So that's another option, but if you want to add the jump, I'm going to be doing a squat, and jump. All right, so that is our squat variation today. Next is lunges. Today I'm doing a side lunge variation. Yesterday we did reverse lunges. There are endless lunge variations. So today I'm doing a side lunge variation, which means that we are going to be lunging to the side. See how that works? All right, so I'm going to be starting towards one end of my mat. I'm going to start with my feet together, and I'm going to lunge to the other side of my mat. So I'm going to pick up this foot that's towards the inside of my mat, and I'm going to step my foot out wide. I'm going to bend this knee of my lunging leg, and I'm going to sink down into my lunge as deep as I can. So if you can sink real low and touch the mat, great, do it. If you're not there yet, just be where you are. Remember, we are working to our own level. So sink down into the lunge as deep as you can, as deep as is comfortable for you. I do want you to explore your full range of motion, and I do want you to challenge yourself, but I don't want anyone getting hurt. So please just listen to your body and be safe. Now I'm going to press the heel of my lunging foot into the mat. I'm going to visualize pressing the ground away from me. And as I do that, I'm going to pick up this foot and transfer my weight back into my standing leg. And I'm going to lift this leg to the side. I'm not kicking the leg. You can kick if you want to kick. That's up to you. You're not going to hurt yourself. It's not wrong. It's just not what I'm doing today, okay? So you can do any lunge variation you want. So if you want to add a kick, you can kick. I'm just going to be keeping my knee more or less straight and lifting the leg to the side. And then I'm going to go right into my next rep. Okay, so I'm never going to bring my feet back together. I'm going to lunge, lift the leg, and then I'm going to put this foot right back down towards this side of the mat and go into my next rep. Lunge, lift the leg. Lunge, lift the leg. These are harder than they look. So if you need to lunge, lift the leg, and step back, and kind of reset and take a second before your next rep, do it, all right? That's absolutely fine. But I am going to be going right into my next rep. Lunge, lift the leg, right into the next rep, okay? But if you need to step it together, you can step together. That's totally fine. Now just remember with your lunges, and we went over this yesterday, that again, you want to start by tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets. So your shoulders are back and down, your chest is lifted nice and high, your abs are engaged. Then you're going to again use that visualization technique of imagining that you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty and trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. You want a nice flat back. You don't want to round your back as you sink down into the lunge. You want to keep that spine nice and elongated. And you want the weight in the heel of your lunging foot. So as I pick up this foot, step out to the side and sink down into my lunge, I'm pushing my booty back. I'm keeping my chest lifted nice and high. My spine is going to stay elongated. My back stays flat, and my weight is in the heel of this lunging foot. Now I'm going to press this heel into the ground, shifting the weight to my inside foot, and I'm going to lift the leg right into my next rep, okay? If it is too difficult for you to lift the leg, remember that you can use a chair for support. That's absolutely fine. Just remember that if you need to use a chair for support, please make sure that your chair is strong enough to support your weight. Make sure that it is sturdy. It's not going to break or collapse or fold up on you. So like this is one of my dining room chairs. This is pretty strong, but I wouldn't want to use like a folding chair or something like that. And you want to make sure it's in good condition. All of the legs are on there. The chair is stable and it's not going to collapse or break on you when you put weight on it. And make sure that the chair is stable. So you can see that I put my chair on top of my yoga mat so that it does not slide from underneath me on my wood floors. If you have a yoga mat or an exercise mat, please put that down first. Put your chair or your bar stool or whatever you're using for support on top of the mat to help keep the chair from sliding underneath you, to help it to stay put. All right? So from here, you can just hold on to your chair for support. And if you need to shorten up your range of motion, that is also fine. If you're a beginner, you may not be able to step your leg out super far. You may not be able to sink down really deep into your lunge. So you can shorten up your range of motion. You can step out not quite as far, and you can sink not quite as deep into the lunge. And then when you lift this foot, you have your chair here for support to help you. You want to lean on this chair as little as you can. As much as you need to, that's why it's here. It's here to assist you, but you want to use it as little as possible, okay? So as much as you need it, but as little as you can. All right, and then again, you can step your feet back together if you need to, or if you want to challenge yourself, you can go right into the next rep. So you're going to step to the side, lunge, lift that leg. And if you can't lift your leg up super high, just lift it up off the floor a little bit, okay? And then right into your next rep. Place the foot back on your mat, sink into that lunge, make sure your back is flat, make sure the weight is in the heel of your lunging foot. And now you're going to press this heel into the mat to stand, using your chair as little as you can for support. You're going to lift that leg as high as you comfortably can without pulling or straining anything. And now your weight is in your standing leg. Lift that leg right into the next rep. Okay, lunge, lift the leg. Lunge, lift the leg. So that's your beginner modification. If even that is too much, if you saw yesterday's video, you saw that I gave you this other side lunge variation. So you can stand behind your strong, sturdy, stable chair placed on your mat so it doesn't slide from underneath you. Start with your feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, and you can just lunge side to side like this, using your chair for support, all right? So just choose any lunge variation that you can do safely. You want it to be something that's challenging for you, but also doable. Remember, we're doing 40 total reps of these. So if it's something that you can just barely do, then that's fine. You can start with a more challenging variation, but then just be ready to switch to something a little less strenuous if you need to. If you need to kind of downgrade the difficulty level in order to get all of your reps done. Since I have my chair here, let me remind you that you can also use the chair to assist you with your squats. So if you need to have the chair there so that you can kind of sit down into the chair, that's fine. Same technique, shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, tighten up the abs. Push the booty back, elongate the spine, back is flat, weight is in the heels, and I'm controlling the movement on the way down as I'm squatting into my chair, okay? The point is not to just plop into the chair. That's not an exercise. That's not going to do anything to get you stronger. That's just sitting in a chair. All right, so make sure that you're really controlling the movement and the chair is just there to assist you at the end so that you have some place to go, okay? And so that you feel confident enough that you're not going to fall and hurt yourself. And then to stand, again, you're going to press the ground away with your heels. And then if you want, you can come up onto your toes and reach like you're trying to touch the ceiling, or you can add a little jump if you're able, okay? So remember that you can always use the chair to assist you for your squats as well. And if you need to do it next to your kitchen counter or the arm of your couch so that you have something to hold on to, or something in front of you, if you wanted to grab another chair, not a chair that will roll. I'm just putting this here so you can see what I'm talking about, but you can really even have another chair in front of you if you need it. If you are an ultra beginner, never done a squat before, maybe you're very, very overweight and you have terrible knees and you just don't feel confident and you want a little additional support, you can have another strong, sturdy, stable chair in front of you if you need assistance to get up and if you need to steady yourself as you're squatting into the chair. All right, so modify, modify, modify. All right, so next is abs. I'm going to be down on the mat for my abs today, but since I've got my chair here, let me go ahead and remind you that if you don't have a mat, or if it's just really difficult for you to get down onto a mat and get up off of a mat, that's okay. That's why we're doing this, so that you can gain strength and you can increase your flexibility and your mobility, and eventually you will be able to get down onto the mat and do Pikes with me. That's the exercise I'm going to be doing today. But if you're not there yet and you are more comfortable standing for your ab exercise, remember that I showed you yesterday how you can use your strong, sturdy, stable chair to assist you with your standing crunches. All right, so you're gonna start to one side of the chair, hold onto the chair for support. You're going to take the leg that's on the opposite side of the chair and extend it out. You can have this other hand behind your head, and then you're going to lift this leg, bend the knee, and crunch, bringing elbow to knee, or as close as you can get. All right, the goal is to actually crunch all the way so that you're lifting your knee as high as you can, crunching down as far as you can, and actually touching your knee with your elbow. But your range of motion might not allow you to touch elbow to knee, so just get as close as you can. That's what you're working towards. So if you're here, that's fine. You've got your chair for support. Just make sure you're really crunching as much as you can and really feeling that in your obliques. So that's just a standing option in case you don't have a mat or you're uncomfortable coming down onto the mat for your ab exercise. But for the rest of us, we're going to be doing something on the mat. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm doing, and then again, if that's too difficult for you, I'll show you modifications. And if the modifications are too difficult for you, remember that you can always substitute with any other ab exercise. All right, that is why I love this challenge so much. You only need to be able to do one squat variation, one lunge variation, one ab exercise, and one push-up variation to complete this challenge. All right, you can just do those same variations for 40 days if you want, and you have completed the challenge. All right, but today I'm doing what I call Pikes. Most people call them jackknives, but I don't know, I've just always called them Pikes. So this exercise I think is a little bit on the more advanced side. So just because you're a beginner does not necessarily mean that you will not be able to do this. So go ahead and try it with me. And then if it is too difficult for you, I'll show you some ideas for how you can modify it. All right, so I'm going to start down here on my mat, on my back. I'm going to have my legs extended, and I'm going to extend my arms up overhead. Oh my God, this shoulder is so messed up that even extending my arms overhead is painful for me right now, you guys. I went to the chiropractor the other day and he's like, yeah, I don't know. So, it's not dislocated or anything like that. It's just, I don't know what's wrong with it. All right, anyway, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my knees more or less straight. It's okay if they're not like perfectly straight. I am not Abby Lee Miller. So if you have a slight bend in your knees, that's fine. Just have them more or less straight. If you're able to get them all the way straight, that's great. That's what we're going for. But I'm going to keep my knees as straight as I can while I lift my legs. And at the same time, I'm going to sit up, keeping my arms straight. I'm going to lift up my arms and I'm going to crunch up to touch my toes. And then I'm going to lower my arms and lower my legs, ideally at the same time. But that's the difficult part, all right? So if you're able to lift your arms and your legs simultaneously, it's going to look something like this. All right, so you can try that. And if you can do a few reps like that, great. If you can do all 40 reps like that, fantastic. If that is too difficult, you can break it up and do the leg lift and the toe touch separately. So you can start with your legs straight, arms extended overhead. And then you can lift your legs first and then crunch and touch the toes. Then lower the arms, lower the legs, and that's 1 rep. So lift the legs, touch the toes, lower the arms, and lower the legs. Okay, so you're doing the same exercise, but instead of lifting your arms and legs at the same time, you're doing them separately. That's absolutely fine. You could also just do one or the other. So you could leave your legs elevated like this the entire time and just do toe touches. So you could just reach up and touch the toes, return to your starting position. That's 1, 2, 3. All right, that's another possibility. Or you could do the other half of it and just do leg lifts. When I do leg lifts, I like to just put my hands underneath my booty because I just find it more comfortable. So wherever you are comfortable putting your hands is fine, but you're just going to start with your legs straight and then just lift and lower the legs. And that would be 1 rep. So every time you lift and then lower is 1 rep. So that's 2, 3, 4. All right, so I'm going to be doing pikes or jackknives, meaning that I'm going to be lifting my arms and legs at more or less the same time, so my body's coming together kind of like a V, okay? So if you're able to do that, you can do that with me. If not, you can, those are your modifications. You can lift the arms separately, you can lift the legs and then touch the toes, and then lower your arms and then lower your legs. That's 1 rep. Or you can just do 1/2. So you can do either just the leg lifts or just the toe touches. That is up to you. And then of course, remember that if none of those are going to work for you, you can just do any other ab exercise. All right, so finally we have our push-up variation. Today I'm going to be doing a Santana push-up with a hip dip. So it's a little bit of some bonus abs. We're going to be working our obliques just a little bit with our push-up variation. And of course, we're always working our entire core with our push-ups because you want your core to be engaged the entire time. So yesterday, we went through the correct form for your push-ups and I gave you tons of modifications, beginner modifications, okay? Everybody knows you can do push-ups from your knees, and we'll go over a knee push-up modification for the variation of push-ups that I'm doing today. I'll show you that in just a moment. But I also went over several other push-up variations in yesterday's video for people who cannot do knee push-ups. So that, again, if you don't have a mat, or you're very overweight, you have bad knees, you don't want to be down on a mat, you don't want to be on the floor, you don't want to be on your knees, I showed you standing push-up variations that you can do. So make sure you watch yesterday's video if you need to see those. And again, I'm here to help. So if you're having trouble finding yesterday's video or watching it, or if you have questions even after watching those modifications, just ask and I am right here to help. But I'm going to be doing a Santana push-up today. It's basically just a standard push-up with a side plank added, okay? So it's a push-up and then a side plank. Going to be alternating sides with each rep. So I'm going to start down in my plank position. So hands are directly underneath your shoulders, and then you're going to step your feet out so that you're in a plank position. You're going to make sure that your abs are nice and strong and tight and engaged. You're going to make sure your hips are lifted high. You do not want you to drop your hips down towards the mat like this. This is causing an arch in my back. That's not okay. You can really hurt your back this way. It's horrible form. Don't do your push-ups this way. Instead, you want to tighten up your abs. Use your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them high. If your hips are just ever so slightly elevated, that's not terrible. You're not going to hurt yourself doing the push-ups that way because your back is flat in that position. The main thing is that you want your back flat. You don't want to have that arch in your back. So don't allow your hips or your belly to kind of droop down towards the mat. You want to really use your core to keep your hips lifted high. Stay nice and high in that plank. And then from there, you also want to make sure that your head is in line with your spine. Okay, so make sure you're not allowing your head to drop like this. You don't need to overcorrect by hyperextending your neck. Just have your head nice and in line with your spine. Make sure your neck is in a neutral position. And from here, you're just going to bend your elbows and lower your chest as low to the mat as you can. If you cannot get your chest all the way down to the mat, that's fine. You can shorten up your range of motion or you can go to your knees, all right? But what's not okay is to compensate for the fact that you're not getting your chest all the way down to the mat by lowering your hips or your belly down to the mat. So if you're only able to come down this far, what you don't want to do is lower your hips or your belly down to compensate for the fact that you're not getting your chest down to the mat. Another really common mistake that people will do is they'll lower their forehead down to the mat. So I'll see people come down this far and they're trying so hard to get all the way down to the mat, but they can't quite get there. So I don't even think a lot of times people realize they're doing this. That's why I want you to be mindful of it, is that what they'll do is they'll lower their forehead down to the mat. Just to kind of, I think, try to trick themselves in a way to thinking that they're getting all the way down. You want your head to stay still, okay? This is a moving plank, so you want to find that beautiful, perfect plank position and then nothing moves. All right, you're going to bend your elbows, you're going to lower your chest as close to the mat as you can, and then you are going to press the ground away from you to push yourself back up and return to your starting position. But your entire body should stay perfectly still as you do that. If you cannot get your chest all the way down to the ground, that's fine. You can shorten up your range of motion. So if you're only able to come down this far without lowering your hips or your belly, or without bobbing your head down towards the mat, that's fine. Then this is your push-up. Come down as far as you can, and then once you've gotten down getting your chest as close to the mat as you can, you press the ground away by pressing your palms into the mat and pushing yourself up, returning to your starting position. All right, so it's just a standard push-up, and then I'm going to add a side plank to it. So I'm going to do my push-up, and then I'm going to rotate into a side plank. Now I'm going to dip my hip, touch the floor, and come back up. Then rotate back into my plank position. All right, so if the hip dip is too difficult for you, you can eliminate it and just do the side plank. We're going to be alternating sides with each rep. So then with my next rep, I'm going to do my push-up, rotate into a side plank on the other side, dip the hip, lift the hip, return back to my starting position. So that's what I'm going to be doing. It's going to be a struggle. I'm going to do my best. If you are capable of doing just a few reps like that, great, do it. And then if you need to drop to your knees, you can do this from your knees as well. So if you are doing knee push-ups, a knee push-up is exactly the same as a push-up from your toes. The only difference is that instead of a straight line from your heels to your shoulders, you're going to put your knees down on the mat. And now that straight line is from my knees to my shoulders. So my hands are directly underneath my shoulders. My abs are strong and tight and engaged. My hips are lifted high. I'm not allowing my back to arch. I'm not allowing my hips to droop towards the mat. I'm tightening on my ab muscles. I'm using my ab muscles to lift my hips high so that my back is straight. My head is in line with my spine. I'm not letting my head drop like this. I'm not jutting my chin out like this. Nice neutral spine. And then from here, all I'm going to do is bend my elbows and lower my chest as close to the mat as I can without dipping my hips down, without bobbing my head down towards the mat. All right, so if you can get your chest all the way to the mat, that's what we're going for. And then you're going to press the mat away from you and push yourself back up to your starting position. But if you cannot get your chest all the way down to the mat, that's fine. Shorten up your range of motion. If you can only come here, then that's your push-up. Then you're going to rotate into your side plank. So I'm going to pick up one hand. Now my weight is in this hand. This hand is going to come up above my head, and I'm going to straighten my top leg. This bottom knee is going to stay on the mat for support. Now, if you're able to, and you want to add the hip dip, you can just lower that bottom hip, tap the mat, and then use your obliques to lift your hip back up, and then return to your starting position. So this hand comes down, and I'm going to put my other knee back on the mat. Alternating sides with each rep. So now with my next rep, I'm going to do a push-up. Rotate into my side plank, and then if you want and you're able to, dip the hip, lift the hip, and rotate back into your starting position. If you need to eliminate the hip dip, that's fine. You'll just do your push-up, get your chest as low as you can, rotate into your side plank. Make sure you're keeping those hips high in your side plank if you're not going to do the hip dip. Then return to your starting position, repeat on the other side. Push up, rotate. The top leg straightens, the bottom knee stays on the mat for support. Keep those hips lifted high. Your entire core should be engaged. And then rotate back into your side plank. Into your starting position. If the side plank is too difficult, eliminate it. Just do knee push-ups, or just do wall push-ups, or just do push-ups off your kitchen counter, or the arm of your couch, or your coffee table, okay? Again, any push-up variation that works for you is fine. All right, so that's it. That's all 4 exercises, along with your beginner modifications. Now here's the format. It is a very simple format, very similar to what we did yesterday. We are going in order through our exercises. We're going S-L-A-P, we're spelling out slap. So that means we're starting with squats. We are going to do 20 reps of squat jumps. Then we're moving on to lunges. 20 reps of our side lunge with a leg lift. We're going to stand the same leg for all 20 reps. Then we'll move on to our ab exercise, 20 pikes, and then we'll finish up with 20 push-ups. Whatever push-up variation you want to do, I'm doing Santana push-ups with a hip dip. I'm going to alternate sides with each rep, and we're doing a total of 20 reps. So that's 1 round. We've now completed 20 reps of everything. We're going to repeat that once more. So then we're going to start at the top again, the top of our circuit with S for squats. So 20 more squat jumps. Then we are going to do our 20 side lunges with a leg lift on the other leg. So if you start on this side of your mat, where this is your standing foot and this is your lunging leg, and you're lunging this way, make sure that the second time through the circuit, you're on the opposite side of your mat and you're lunging in the opposite direction with the other leg. So the second time through the circuit, I'll be on this side. I'm going to lunge in this direction and lift the leg. All right, so second time through the circuit, we're going to do 20 reps on the opposite leg. Then SLA, so next is abs. We're going to come back down on the mat and do another 20 pikes or jackknives, or 20 reps of whatever ab exercise you are doing. And remember, you also have the option to stand and do an ab exercise with the assistance of a chair. So if you don't have a mat or you have difficulty getting down on a mat, you're gonna do your standing ab exercise. And then we're going to finish up with our final 20 reps of push-ups. So for me, hopefully if I can do them, that's going to be another 20 Santana push-ups plus a hip dip. And again, I'm going to be alternating sides with each rep, and that's it. That is going to be our 40 reps of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. And then remember, we are going to do our bonus burpee at the end. The bonus burpee is mandatory, so if you don't know how to do a burpee, then I will show you very quickly what I do at the end of each one of my exercises. It's basically just a push-up and then a jump up. We're going to start from a standing position, so in order to do our push-up, we're going to bend down and put our hands on the mat. Now I'm going to jump my feet back so that I'm in a plank position. Now you can jump your feet right back in if you want. I always add a push-up, but there are a million different burpee variations. Some of them include a push-up, some of them don't. I like to do a push-up with my burpees. So then I'm going to jump my feet back in, and I'm going to jump up. That's my burpee variation. If you want a beginner version of that, then you can start standing towards the middle of your mat, bend down, place your hands on the mat. Instead of jumping your feet back so that you're in a plank position, you can step them back one at a time. And now again, if you want to eliminate the push-up, that's fine. You're gonna step your feet right back in and stand. And then from here, if you're able to add a little jump, you can jump. If not, maybe try to come up onto your toes. If you want to do the push-up, then you're just going to put your hands down, step your feet back, or you can jump them back if you're able to and you want to. Knees down for the push-up. Back up into your plank position. Now step the feet in and stand. Do a little jump if you can, or if not, just stand and reach. Maybe come up onto your toes. So that's a beginner burpee, a couple of different versions of beginner burpees. Of course, you could also just do what I call a half burpee. It's just my version of a burpee, but without a push-up. So starting from a standing position, put the hands down, jump the feet back, then jump them back in, stand and jump. Or if you need an impact-free version, again, hands down, step the feet back, step them back in and stand. Come up onto your toes if you can. All right, so there are a million different burpee variations. Pick one that works for you, and just know that after this workout and after every one of my workouts, we do one extra rep, one bonus burpee after the workout. All right, so now you know what's coming. Please take a couple of minutes to make sure that you are good and warmed up. It's really important to make sure that you warm up before you begin the workout. If your muscles are warm, they are going to be more pliable. And that means that they are going to be less susceptible to injury. If you jump into the workout with cold muscles, you are increasing the likelihood of pulling or straining something. I don't want anyone getting hurt. So if you need a warm-up routine, we did a little warm-up routine before yesterday's workout. So again, if you need to see that, I encourage you to click on the link down below the video or in the iCard for yesterday's workout. It says day 1, and there are chapter markers, so you can skip ahead to the warm-up part. It's a little 5-minute warm-up routine just to get the blood flowing a little bit, do a little bit of light stretching so that you're ready to begin the workout. If you have another workout routine that you like to do, that's great. It doesn't have to be super structured. You just want to move around a little bit, get the blood flowing, get your muscles loose, and loosen up your joints, do a little bit of light stretching. You can do it in 5 minutes, but please make sure you're taking a few minutes to warm up before you begin the workout. Hopefully I've covered everything. If anything is unclear, if you have questions about the exercises that we are doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do these exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications, I'm right here to help. So please just ask. It is extremely important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. I am always here to help facilitate that. All right, so if you have questions or if you need help, please just ask. It's also really important that you understand how to do the exercises with the correct form before you begin the workout so that you reduce your risk of injury and just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. If you're going to commit to doing this challenge with me, getting dressed and getting out here every day and getting your reps done, that I want you to be able to see the results of all of that hard work. All right, so please make sure you understand how to do the exercises correctly. And of course, because I don't want anyone getting hurt. You guys, if you get hurt, first of all, I'm gonna feel bad. I don't want anyone getting hurt. And secondly, it's going to sideline you for a few days while you rest and recover, and then you're not going to really be able to complete the challenge as intended. The challenge is to do these reps every single day. And if you get hurt and you're unable to do the workouts for a few days, I don't want you just kind of giving up on the whole thing and saying, well, I guess I failed at the challenge because I missed day 3, or I missed, whatever, I missed this week. Okay, so it can be very discouraging when you're having to deal with an injury and when you have to miss workouts and when you're not able to follow through on something that you said you were going to do. So I really want to take steps to keep that from happening. So I don't want anyone being discouraged at any point during this challenge. I want you to be encouraged. So if you do injure yourself, or you do need to skip a day here or there because you're sore or whatever, please don't give up on the entire challenge, okay? Yes, the challenge is to do these reps every single day except Sundays for 40 days, but the best way to be able to follow through on it is really just to make sure that you understand what you're doing and you know how to do the exercises correctly, and you're prioritizing your proper form so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also that you're stretching after each one of these workouts. Stretching is going to help alleviate any soreness that you may feel the day after a tough workout like this. It's also, though, going to help to reduce your risk of injury moving forward, as well as improve your flexibility, which is an underappreciated, I think, and undervalued aspect of your overall fitness and well-being. So flexibility is valuable in its own right. But if you take a good 15-20 minutes to stretch after each workout, you are going to be taking steps to reduce your risk of injury moving forward. And it's also going to help you alleviate any soreness that you may feel the next day. Because if you have to miss a workout because you're too sore, I don't want you getting discouraged and feeling like you can't continue, or like you failed with the challenge and you're just gonna scrap the whole thing. All right, so please take the extra couple of minutes to warm your body up before you begin the workout, and take the extra time to do your stretching after the workout. The best time to do your stretching is immediately after the workout, because your muscles are already nice and warm from the workout. And therefore, as we discussed earlier, because your muscles are warm, they're more pliable. So you are less likely to pull something or overstretch while you're doing your stretching, because your muscles are going to be nice and pliable. But if you don't have time to do your stretching immediately after the workout, that's fine, as long as you get it done at some point during the day. Just keep in mind that if you put off your stretching until later in the day, that your muscles will have gotten cold again, so you're going to have to take a few minutes to warm them back up before jumping into your stretching. And if you want to know the stretching routine that I do after every workout, I will link that below as well. It's not my stretching routine, it's just something I found online years ago. I like it. It pretty much hits everything, and it's really accessible for beginners. It's designed for people who lack flexibility, and then of course, as you get more flexible, there's room to grow. You can still do the same stretching routine, but if you have zero flexibility, it's a great place to start. So I will link that video for the stretching routine that I do and that I recommend in the description box down below the video. So please make sure that you're taking a few minutes after the workout to do your stretching. I think that's it. Hopefully I've covered everything. So if you are ready to go ahead and start this day 2 workout with me, definitely grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. You are going to be more comfortable with something soft beneath you for our ab exercise, definitely, and also if you plan on doing knee push-ups. If you don't have a mat, a towel should suffice. So if you are going to be doing pikes with me, and you are going to be doing knee push-ups, but you don't have a mat, if you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, like if you wanted to take this workout to the park, or the field at your local high school, for example. You may not need anything at all, but if you're working out on a wood floor like I am, or on concrete like I do when I work out outside, you're definitely going to want something soft beneath you. So if you don't have a mat, a towel should be fine. If you are planning on using a chair or some other strong, sturdy, stable, elevated surface for support, go ahead and get that ready. Please remember to take a few minutes to make sure you're good and warmed up, and when you're ready, let's get started. All right, so I'm in really bad shape with my push-ups. You guys know I've been having this shoulder issue for quite some time now, and I'm really sore from yesterday's reps. So I know that this one is going to take me quite a bit of time because I know the push-ups are going to take me forever. So I'm going to try to get through my squats, lunges, and abs as quickly as I can. The goal is to get through the entire workout as quickly as you can with good form. So make sure that you are prioritizing your proper form, especially if you're working out along with the video. Please make sure that you're going at your own pace and do not sacrifice your form for speed. So if you're slower than I am, that's fine. Be slower than I am, okay? If you need to pause the video so that you can catch up, then pause the video, and when you're caught up, just press play and join me, okay? If you're faster than I am, that's great, as long as you are not sacrificing your form for speed. All right, so please mind your form, go at your own pace. That being said, I'm hoping I can finish this in under 20 minutes. If you're in any kind of decent shape, you should definitely be able to finish it in closer to 10 to 15 minutes. I just want to give myself that buffer because I know the push-ups are going to be torture and they're going to take me a really long time. So just do your best. Remember that your best is always good enough, so let it be good enough. All right, so when you're ready, here we go. I am starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. We're starting with 20 squat jumps. You're gonna squat down and jump up 20 times. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, keep going. 20. Right into lunges if you can. If you need to pause and rest, pause and rest. So lunge to the side and lift the leg. Right into the next rep. That's 2. We're doing all 20 reps on one side. 4, 5, keep going. It's 15 for me. 5 more. That's 20. All right, abs. So I'm gonna do 20 pikes. These are super hard for me. They're gonna take me a while. See if I can maybe do my first 10 without stopping. I don't know, we'll find out. All right, when you're ready, here we go. So lift the legs, lift the arms, touch the toes, lower the legs, lower the arms. That's 1, 2, 3. Do your best. We're going to 20. That's 10 for me. 10 more. It's 15. 5 more. Last 20. Okay, now for the part I'm dreading. This is new for me. I don't ever dread push-ups. I've always been really good at push-ups, but after these 3 months off, dealing with this, whatever's going on with my shoulder, oh my gosh. I feel like I can barely do 1 push-up right now. So, I'm obviously not going to plan on doing all 20 without stopping because I'm just not there right now. I'm not in shape to do that. If you are, that's great. That's what you should do. But I'm going to pray that I can even do the first 10 without stopping. All right, just do your best. So, it's push-up, side plank, dip the hip, raise the hip, rotate back into your plank position. That's 1. Other side. Push up, side plank, dip the hip, lift the hip, return to your starting position. That's 2. We're alternating sides with each rep. So that's my first 2 reps. I'm gonna see if I can do 8 more without stopping. Wish me luck. These are crazy hard for me right now. That's my first 10 reps. I definitely need a minute to rest before I start on my final 10 reps of push-ups. And then that's round 1. Then we're gonna start again at the top. So you can see how long the push-ups are taking me. That's why I wanted to make sure to really push myself and get through the squats, lunges, and abs as quickly as I could. I'm definitely taking longer of a rest break than I want to right here, but it's just what my body needs right now. I haven't been working out in so long. I've just lost so much strength, and there's no way I'm going to get this done if I don't take the extra time to rest. So, all right, quick stretch. I do not anticipate being able to do my final 10 reps unbroken, so I'll see if I can maybe do 6. Maybe I can do 6 and 4. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Just do your best. If you need to rest longer, pause the video, come back when you're ready. I'm picking up my count at 10. That's 6. So I'm going to try to take just a short rest here. Since I'm not recovering from a set of 10, I'm recovering from a set of 6. And I don't have 10 reps ahead of me. I have only 4 reps ahead of me. So just about 20-30 seconds here. When you feel that you're ready, I'm going to go ahead and attempt these final 4 reps, and then we're right on to round 2. Sweet Lord Jesus. All right, I'm still under 10 minutes, so I have a prayer of finishing this whole thing in under 20 minutes. We'll see if I can maintain that pace for round 2. It means that I don't have a lot of cushion, so I don't really have time to take a long rest in between rounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on round 2. If you do need a longer rest break, take it. Come back when you're ready. Starting round 2 with another 20 jump squats. So squat and jump. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to 20. Just do your best. So next is lunges. Lunges, not lunches. Lunge is what we do after this. First we have to do our lunges, then we can eat our lunches. All right, make sure you're switching sides. And when you're ready, here we go. Lunging to the opposite side. Lift the leg, that's 1. Lunge and lift, that's 2. 3, 4, keep going. That's 5, we're going to 20, just do your best. It's 20. So we're all finished with squats and lunges for the whole day. All we have left to do is our final set of abs and then our last 20 push-ups. So as soon as you're ready, 20 pikes. Or whatever ab exercise you're doing, 20 reps. Oh, my abs. Even when I'm in halfway decent shape, I always have really weak abs. So they're crying right about now. Okay, another 10 reps when you're ready. That's 15. Okay, abs are done, man. All right, now I just have to find a way to get these push-ups done. They're just so hard for me right now. So I'm just gonna do my best. I'll probably try to do 6 and 4, 6 and 4, and see if I can manage that. You break them up however you need to make it work for you. All right, when you're ready, here we go. See if I can do 6 of these without stopping. That's my goal. Okay, so I barely got through those 6, but I did it. I want to try to keep this rest break short because I only have to do another 4 reps to complete my first 10. Hopefully I have enough strength. I'm going to go back in and try to finish up these last 4 reps. See if I give myself enough time. All right, that's 10. I've completed 30 of 40 push-ups. All I have left to do is these final 10 reps. So again, I'm gonna rest for a good minute or so because the goal is to make sure that I have enough strength to do 6 reps unbroken. It's really hard for me right now, so just taking a good minute at least. Just stretch, or I mean to rest and then just try in vain to stretch out the shoulder a little bit. All right. So I'm picking up my count at 10. I'm gonna try my best to do another 6 without stopping. If I can't do it, that's okay. I'll start doing, I'll do 4, 4, and 2, or whatever it takes. I'll get it done. All right, when you're ready, here we go. goodness. All right, I have about a minute to finish my final 4 reps. If I want to meet my goal of finishing in under 20 minutes. I did say I would be thrilled if I could finish in under 20, so let's see if I can do it. 4 more reps. When you feel that you're ready. Don't push it if you're not ready. Here we go. Unbelievable. 19 minutes and 59 seconds. So I made my goal of finishing in under 20 minutes, which I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do. So now I have to be thrilled, because I said I would be thrilled if I could finish it in under 20. Finished it in under 20 minutes with 1 second to spare. So color me thrilled. All right, so that's our 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of abs, and 40 push-ups for the day, but we are not quite finished yet. Remember that no workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. Let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. I'm including a push-up with my burpee, but remember you can do any burpee variation you want. So when you're ready, here we go. Final rep of the day. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete. If you are doing this challenge with me, you have met your requirement for the day. However, it is strongly recommended that you add on an additional 20 to 30 minutes or so of cardio if you have time. That is how I always do this challenge every year. I always tack on an additional 20 to 30 minutes of cardio after the workout. It is not mandatory. It is not officially part of the challenge. However, if you are using this challenge as a way to get in shape, lose weight, get trim, improve your overall health, adding on a little additional cardio after the workouts is really going to help accelerate that process. You're going to be burning more calories, you're going to be getting your heart rate up, it's going to improve your strength and your stamina, it's going to be great for your cardiovascular health, you're going to strengthen your heart and your lungs, and by burning those extra calories, you're going to help accelerate that fat loss if that's what you're after. And if you're jumping rope with me, you're also going to improve your agility and your hand-eye coordination, but you don't have to jump rope. Or not always, but most of the times, I'm going to set my timer for 40 rounds of 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals, and that's 20 minutes. So I'm just going to do a quick 20 minutes of jump rope before I do my stretching, but sometimes I will choose to go for a hike instead or hop on the exercise bike for 30 minutes. So again, the additional cardio is not officially part of the challenge. It is not mandatory. It's just a suggestion. So if you do want to add that additional cardio, any kind of cardio, just moderate paced cardio that you want to do is fine. So a hike is a great idea if you live close to hiking trails. That is one of my favorite things to do for exercise. If you want to stay put, a jump rope is great. But you could even just go for a jog or a brisk walk around your neighborhood. If you have access to the field at your local high school, you could always take this workout to the field, and then when you're done, jog around the track a few times, or do up and down the bleachers. If you live in an apartment complex, you could do up and down the steps at your apartment complex, or if you have stairs in your home, you can do that in your home as well. If you have a heavy bag, I think that's such a great option. You could do, 15, 20, 30 minutes on your heavy bag. So any kind of moderate paced cardio is fine if you want to add the additional cardio. So I am going to set my timer, grab my jump rope and get some music going, do a quick 20 minutes of interval jump rope before I do my stretching, and then that is a wrap on day 2. So if you are not doing the additional cardio, please remember that if you can take a good 15-20 minutes or more to stretch right now, this is the best time to do it. If you don't have time to do your stretching right now, that's fine. Please make sure that you're getting it done at some point during the day, just to make sure if you're doing your stretching later, that you remember to take a few minutes to warm up your muscles before you begin your stretching. I will have the stretching routine that I do every day linked in the description box down below the video, so feel free to use that one. If there's another stretching routine that you like to do, that's fine, as long as you get your stretching done so that you alleviate any soreness that you might be feeling tomorrow, and so that you reduce your risk of injury moving forward and you improve your flexibility. But that's it. That's day 2. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. If you are comfortable doing so and you want, please feel free to comment with your score. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me and everyone who's joining this challenge with me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear with the format of today's workout, if you have questions about the exercises that we were doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do these exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications beyond what I've already provided, I am right here to help, so please just ask. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all right back here tomorrow for day 3. Bye.